Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? My name is Teyanna Stone. I also go by Teyanna Stone, the creative, and you are tuning in to another episode of The Creative Process. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host for today, and today I didn't bring a guest on because I wanted to talk about something that's a little personal to me, and I wanted to share some life experiences that I've been going through over the past few months. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. But first, I just want to give a huge thank you to everybody who has been tuning in, watching the episodes, sharing all the stuff on social media. I truly appreciate it. I'm just very grateful for how this show has come about, and I'm just really excited for how far we've gone in these 4 episodes and where we're going to go, all the cool conversations that we're going to talk about. Also, got to give a huge shout out to Carly and Juan for being my first couple of guests. It was awesome having you guys on. Maybe we'll do it again in the future, but we'll see. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being a part of the creative process and for, engaging. I truly appreciate it. So thank you. But yes, so the thing that I want to talk about is the concept of fear, in terms of how that plays into art and how that plays into music making and how that can intimidate us and influence us and motivate us to make our art. Because I feel like it's been something that I've been dealing with and something that I'm becoming more aware of, and I'm starting to realize, I guess you could say, triggers and stuff like that when it comes to fear, both on a personal aspect and also on an artist aspect as well. Because I've been learning, I've been growing, I've been, evolving, and I wanted to share some of the experiences that I've been going through. So fear. I guess for me, I can start out with the idea of fear being the thing that made me think that I couldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a ton of things in terms of, being a music artist, releasing music. We'll get into that later. Writing, being a part of a band, performing, helping other people with their art, and their visions and their, mission in life. Also, teaching too after school. I have the opportunity to teach music production to some kids, which has been a very beautiful thing that has touched my heart. I love the opportunity to teach people. Shout out to Ben Arsenal for helping me get that job. I really appreciate that. And I think fear has played into that, or beforehand, before I was like, I'm going to do this, because I feel like fear has a way of making us think that we are not qualified to do the things that we want to do. And I can break that down into almost every professional aspect of my life in terms of my music as being an artist. Fear of being like, is this good enough? Will I be able to reach an audience? Is it the right time for people to see me in this light? And if they do see me in this light, will they, receive it? Being fearful of, how people receive things, being fearful of, this being a dud if I drop it, all those things. And then, being a part of a band, fear of having the musical knowledge and the musical capability to keep up in a band, because the knowledge and the precision that you have to have for being in a band and just being on your toes is, it's not necessarily, it can come off intimidating, but that's just the fear talking. A fear of being able to pull your weight in a band and not thinking that you're good enough to be in this collective of talented people. When it comes to working with people who are so freaking incredible in their artistry, thinking that, you're not as out there in terms of the people that you're working with. Who am I to be, with this incredible group of people? Like, what can I bring to the table? Being afraid to take that leap and be like, hey, I want to be a part of this. Like, am I good enough to be a part of this? Teaching, like, it takes a lot to teach kids. Like, am I a good enough artist to do something like that? Do I have the patience to teach kids? Am I, am I good enough? I guess that's the question that fear brings into play in almost every aspect of my professional life. Am I good enough to do these things? Because I think I mentioned this before. If I haven't, my mind, charge it to my mind. But I think I've been blessed with so many different visions and goals and things that I want to do. But I feel like fear has been that thing making me question whether or not I am good enough, whether or not I'm qualified enough, whether or not I have enough of the knowledge, enough of the talent, enough of the experience to do the things that I want to do. That's always been something that's bugged me. And I feel like now I'm at a time where I'm trying, first things first, like I'm trying to stay as present as possible, because I feel like a lot of people around me and a lot of people in my circle have been like bringing this quote up. I can't remember who said it. If you do, please let me know. And I'm paraphrasing. Hopefully I'm quoting this correctly. But something to the effect of, if you're thinking about the past, you are always depressed. If you are thinking about the future, you are always anxious. But to be present is to have peace of mind. And that's not to say that, like, we shouldn't concern ourselves of the things of the past or concern ourselves about the things of the future, but to be in constant mindset about those things will not give you a peace of mind. And I feel like for me, as an artist, as a collaborator in the things of art, I've been trying to work past those fears and past those concerns of the future and of the past, because I have to remain present for things. That's something that that has become my priority, one of my top priorities in life right now, being present, because the now is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful time, and I feel like I don't want to waste any more time not being present and not being concerned about the things of now, because there's so many possibilities now. Because I feel like in the past, I may not have taken advantage of every opportunity. I should use that as a lesson to motivate me now, instead of thinking, or dwelling, like I didn't do this. And then when you're thinking about the things of the future, like worrying so much about that stuff, worrying does not add to anything. So I'm like, okay, I want these things for my future. Let's do something now. Let's worry about things now. Well, not worry, but let's work to now. So that's some of the things that I'm working through in terms of both professionally and personally, because I just feel like it's extremely important to prioritize the now and the present, and I feel like it's a great way at combating fear, because I don't know, I feel like I'm fearful. It's understandable to be fearful of the past and fearful of the future, but the now, I don't think I've ever heard anybody being afraid of now. There's something hopeful about now. There's something beautiful about now. There's something promising about now. So I feel like prioritizing that for me is something that's going to be very fruitful. So yeah, that's something that I'm really, really excited about in the future. And just the idea of like imposter syndrome also. I've been rediscovering all of these terms like fear in the present and past and now, and realizing, what brings what. And imposter syndrome has been something that I've recently rediscovered that I have. Because I mean, it's as simple as, okay, I say I'm going to practice for like an hour or so on the piano. I have my keyboard down. Got my phone here that has my timer, or that I could use to like look up things or whatever. So I'm playing, and then all of a sudden like my phone rings, or I got to look up something. I got to look up a chord progression, so I look it up. Then I see an ad. Then I see, an Instagram notification. Then I'm on here, and then I'm on there, and then I'm liking this, and then I'm liking that, and I'm following. Like, it's a rabbit hole. So it's like the idea of not thinking that, you're God, it's like a whole rabbit hole, honestly. But like thinking that it's better to be in this bubble of, well, not even bubble. I guess it's more so like doing other things that is not a part of your art, or is not going to benefit your art, versus actually diving in and being a part of your artistry. Another one of my priorities, prioritizing my artistry. And not to say that I haven't done that before, but I want to do it in a more intimate way. I want to be more personal about it. I want to be more proactive about it. I want to have goals. I want to, make tasks for myself. I mean, like, I think in the first episode of the creative process, we talked about how like the filming of this, the editing process, the uploading of snippets, and just like me being present about those things has definitely influenced me to be more present and active and proactive about other aspects of my multimedia production company, Imagine Stone Productions. Like, the creative process has really just like opened this door of me being just creating more, because I feel like it's no longer healthy for me to be I was going to say stagnant, but I don't think that's the right word. I have all these dreams. I'll say this because I think I told my bandmate Chris this. Shout out, Chris. Because I think we were talking about this in the sense of me practicing piano. And I'm just so grateful to God because, like, since January of this year, I feel like I have tremendously evolved when it comes to my musicianship. And that's one of the reasons why, is because I feel like Chris really pushed me, because we were talking about, this idea of practicing. And initially, I thought of it as a way of, I can practice whenever I want to. It'll just come back to me when I need to practice. And, you know, I was not in my right mind at the moment. Because it just doesn't work like that. Like, Chris compared it to if you're swimming or if you're deep diving, you can equate it to, you practicing is going deeper and deeper and deeper. And the longer you don't go deeper, you start sinking farther up. But you want to go as deep as possible. You don't want to have this back and forth between going up and down. You want to go deeper and deeper and deeper into your musicianship. And I feel like I've had this time period, this stage of going deeper and deeper and deeper into my musicianship. Like for me personally, before January, really, I really didn't know how to solo or how to create solos or how to create, melodies for solos. But I feel like me practicing more, me understanding music theory more, me understanding, what notes sound good together when it comes to creating a line of melody, I feel like I've grown. I've learned things. I'm able to create another. Well, I take that back. I've been able to explore this new side of myself when it comes to my musicianship, and I feel like I'm a lot more confident in things, and I'm just excited for where that'll take me, both when it comes to Cuddle Puddle and when it comes to Teyanna Stone the Creative, because I have a lot of ideas when it comes to my solo music and how I want to do that. And I feel like even that has me practicing more and understanding music more has opened the door for me in terms of my solo music. Like initially I thought like, and this is not shade. I'm just saying. I feel like maybe initially I thought I was going to be one of those people who just had the mic and had the track play in the background. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like now, considering that I know how to play piano better, I know how to play drums better, I feel like it wouldn't be right to just play the track. I have to, play the piano and I have to play drums on it. Like there's things that I have there are things that I want to do now that I have busted that door of fear out of the way and opened other doors, So I feel like that's one way that fear or one way that I've worked past fear when it comes to, my musicianship. And I'm just extremely grateful because, oh God, it's been a journey. It's been a serious journey leading up to me being an artist. I guess that's a decent segue for talking to you all about my debut single, Dance. Yeah, give me 1 second. So, hopefully, if I'm doing my promotion right, you all know that my debut single, Dance, is coming out on July the 28th on a Friday. I believe it's the last Friday of July of the month. And I'm just really, really excited. It's been a long time coming. I have um, I have a lot of people to thank. Um, my mom, my dad, my brother Ty. Thank you for always being there for me in my artistry. Shout out to God. Thank you. Um, I gotta give a shout out to Carly. Carly, I love you, man. You're my homie. You're my creative partner. I just truly appreciate you. Like, the song would not be what it is if you weren't in my life, and I'm just extremely grateful for you. Like, I recorded those drums, and see, that's another thing. I recorded the drums in Carly's basement, and Carly helped me master the song via Scooter Girl Studios, shout out. So I'm just extremely grateful to you, Carly. I'm excited for your endeavors as well. I know too many things, but I'm not gonna say. But I'm excited for you, homie, and I love you and I appreciate you. I also gotta give a shout out to some of my mentors, Dr. Kamika Williams Witherspoon. I love you. I would not be the artist that I am today without you. I just truly appreciate you for helping me, you know, cracking me out of my shell. Without your classes at Temple, I just would not be the artist and the person that I am. So I thank you. I thank you, and I love you. Gary Dan at the Boom Room, love you, man. Appreciate you. Gary was the one who actually listened to the song. I don't know if he remembers this a while ago. He listened to it, and he was like, the song's good, but like, you know how to play drums, so just play drums on the track. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do that. So without Gary, I wouldn't have added that little splice into the song, which for me is a true accomplishment. So I thank you for that push and for that inspiration. I love you and appreciate you. And to Luna May, I love you. Oh God, there's so many things. Thank you for everything that you've poured into me. I have grown a lot since we first started working together. Thank you for letting me use your disco ball for the photo shoot. Also, shout out to Carly for taking those amazing photos. But yeah, Luna, thank you so much for pouring into me, for helping me to realize what I want in terms of my artistry. Watching you has been a true inspiration, and I'm just so grateful for you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And yeah, just thank you to everybody who's been, supporting. It does not go unnoticed. And yeah, oh God, dance. What is the story of dance? God. God, that the crazy thing is, I think that song is literally like 3 or 4 plus years old. It's changed over the years. It's evolved. It's been different. Initially, it was a lot shorter. That vamp part, the vamp part of the song was not there. I just got inspired one day and was like, let me, shift things over and add more things. I mean, initially there was, it was all MIDI drums, and now there's, acoustic drums that I played myself in Carly's basement. It goes hard. My voice has changed since, the release. I mean, from when I was first working on it. My voice has gotten stronger. Shout out to Fazia Hart. I took voice lessons with Faz, and it truly changed my life. I love you. And the song, I feel, is very, I think it's a reflection of I feel like it's a culmination of all the music that has influenced me over, specifically, I think, um, over the past 5 or 6 years, specifically when I first started working at the Boom Room. Um, being exposed to so many different types of music, and I feel like that song "Dance" is a reflection of the influence house music has had on me. Like, shout out to World Town Sound System, working with them and listening to their music all the time. I feel like there may be a splash of that in there, little house music. But I feel like you can definitely feel the R&B, the pop, the soul vibes. Um, I'm just excited for you guys to hear the song, and yeah, I mean, I think the cool thing to think about when I first started the song was that I didn't have the knowledge, the musical knowledge, that I have now, and yet I still love the song because I feel like it's a reflection of where I was, but also it's a reflection of where I want to be. Like, even then, I guess you could say I had an idea of what I wanted for my future, and I still do. And I feel like that the song is, I mean, it's fun, it's catchy. I hope you guys dance to it. But yeah, I mean, it literally started in MIDI in Ableton. 3 chords. It's in A minor. Me and my, oh God, I hope I'm saying I'm not even gonna say the name. Me and my condenser microphone. I can't remember what brand it is, but it's a good brand. Me and my condenser microphone in my bedroom on the studio side, because there's a studio side and then there's a recording side for where I practice. Just me adding things to it, synths, and I guess that's another cool thing too, like me not being afraid to add things, not necessarily knowing, if it's gonna work, but wanting to add things, not letting fear get in the way of experimentation and creation, and just letting things be and having things and testing things out. I mean, I think another cool thing was like how the vocals have changed. Like, initially there was like some crazy stuff on the vocals, but then I was like, let me dial it back a little bit so people can like really feel it. So just like going through changes, and yeah, like going through changes, going through the motions, finding out what works, because I feel like it's not possible to be an artist and be stagnant. It's just not. And you can't be afraid to go to new things. My mom was telling me this morning before I left the house I was telling her about this thing that I was doing. I was like, I don't really feel like doing this. And I told her what it was, and she was like, well, just be out of your comfort zone. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Shout out to you, Mom. I love you. We can't stay in our comfort zone. And I feel like dance, this song, the photo shoot with Carly, me releasing this independently, I can't be fearful anymore. And I'm excited for all the things that come after this too. Because I feel like you're going to be looking at somebody who I feel like you're going to meet somebody new. You're going to meet somebody new, or you're going to be meeting an extension of someone who you didn't know existed. And I feel like that's exciting because it's something that I've been working through and something that I've wanted for so long, like to release music, to share these ideas and these songs and just share the vibes with people. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and I feel like I've talked myself out of things so many times. I've talked myself out of things so many times, and I don't want to do that anymore. I mean, there is a time to like reflect and pull things back and be like, you know what, right now this isn't ready. I know there have definitely been times where I've done that, and it makes sense. I'm grateful that happened. There was one time. This is actually the reason. This is actually the reason why I started taking vocal lessons with Foz, was because my voice wasn't strong enough, and I recorded all this stuff, but it wasn't hitting the way that it was supposed to because I wasn't strong enough back then. My voice wasn't strong enough back then. But now I feel like I'm at a point where when I'm more confident, when I'm more stronger, I know what I need mentally, physically, emotionally, to sing. Like, for instance, I can't eat a lot before I do like a big performance. I need tea. Tea needs tea before I sing. A lot of, water and lubrication. All those things before I had Fazia as a teacher, I feel like I really didn't take into consideration. But now I feel like I do. So sometimes I feel like there were definitely moments where I needed to fall back and evaluate things. But the notion of me talking myself out of good things, I'm not doing that anymore. Because for dance, actually, I feel like I was procrastinating with the release of that. Because honestly, the song has been done for months. Me and Carly mastered it like a while ago. And I was hesitant on like registering copyright and submitting it to being distributed on streaming services. My first answer to that will be that I was waiting for the summertime. But I was also slightly procrastinating as well. I'll be honest. But yeah, like working through like, I'm going to hit this button. I'm going to schedule it. It's going to come out. And not to say that it's going to be, not to say it is what it is, but I want to present this to the world. I want to share this with the world. I've worked so hard on it, and I love the song, and I think you'll love the song too. So why would I want to hold back something that's close to my heart when, one, God gave it to me and it wasn't destined to just be mine? And I think that's something that I have to work through, or something that I am realizing as well. Art is not meant to be solely for the artist. And for some people, that can be scary. But I feel like for me, like, I have too many ideas in my head to just let this be for me. Not to say for other people it will be selfish, but for me, it's starting to come off as selfish. Like, I just can't hold this stuff in anymore. I have to share it with you because it's cool and y'all would like it and it's bomb as fuck. So why not just share it? So that's something that's another thing that I am prioritizing. Not holding all this stuff in, because all this stuff is precious. And yes, it's for me, but it's not just for me. It wasn't destined to just stay inside. Like, it's almost like, maybe getting a little savvy right now, but it's almost like love. Like, it has to be shared. It has to be shared. It's not doing its justice, and it's not fulfilling its purpose if it stays inward. It has to be outward. It has to be outward. And that's something that I am, something that I'm prioritizing. I guess you could say I'm prioritizing. My priorities during these past couple of months have changed, and rightfully so. I'm just in a new season right now, and I'm excited for all the things that will come to fruition in this new season. I'm excited for all the things that I'm going to create in this new season. I'm excited for all the people who I can bring along the ride in this new season, all the new people who I'm going to meet in this new season. I'm excited for all the accomplishments and all the goals that will be set in this new season. Like, there's so many things. God, I'm getting real sappy and really corny right now. But, like, the world is really fucked up. And for some people, I may look like a fool for being faithful and hopeful and making plans. But if I don't, I'll lose my mind. So I'm like, let's have some fun while we still can. And let's enjoy ourselves, and let's make connections. Let's create, let's collaborate, let's love fiercely without apologies. Let's be, unapologetically, and set forth all the things that we want for ourselves. Let's do that. Let's challenge ourselves to do that. Not just for each other, but for ourselves, because we're gonna lose our minds and lose our love and lose our heart if we don't. And I feel like that's a bigger loss than anything else. But also fight the patriarchy. But yeah. I'm just excited. I'm excited for the present. I feel motivated by the past and how that's shaped me. And I'm setting intentions and goals for the future. And I challenge you, and I hope that you are inspired by me. I hope that, you feel called to do the same, because I feel like that calling is on all of our lives. But yeah, not to get sappy, but be you. Do all the things that you feel like you are called to do, because we need you. We need each other. As artists, as human beings, as people, we need each other. But yeah. Yeah, it's an exciting time, but it's a fearful time as well. And the question is, what are we going to do with that fear? What are we going to do with that fear? But yeah. This has been Teyanna Stone. Also go by Teyanna Stone the Creative. Thank you for being a part of the creative process. I challenge you to be fearless. Kick life's butt today and every day, But yeah, thank you guys so much. Stream Dance, it's coming. I told you new music was coming. I told y'all. It took a while, but it's coming. It's coming, and I thank you for all the support. I appreciate you. But yeah, this has been The Creative Process. I'm Teyanna Stone. Also go by Teyanna Stone the Creative. But I'll see you later.